game in terms of like what he can do, but you know, carry to carry matchup, I still favor Phantom Assassin. I'm just like a little worried because like the style that RNG can play, look at their heroes. They got Dead Prophet, tower damage, Shaman. They do have living armor to stall. I've seen this before, Gary.
Yeah, I know.
30 seconds.
They're all grouped up and ready. The only hero not here is Storm, but nobody actually kicks things off. They see each other, they back away.
And also, I would point out the two standout performances for me in this tournament were FBZ on a Brewmaster and also Chalice on Mars, and they both get to play these heroes, so it's gonna be very hype. I like Chalice on. It's just insane what he does. Like it's a different Mars. Usually, you know, Mars tend to miss a couple of spears here and there, but Chalice pretty much always on point. And this is gonna be.
You might get first blood. Yeah, Somnus is actually gonna take it up. Getting first blood in your mid laner always feels incredibly nice. And yeah, you're right. It's always so hype when the MVPs basically of the tournament are these initiating offlane heroes that are always breaking vision, starting team fights, and making the calls to go in and kick off those battles.
He already has enough to buy a bottle.
On the DP, yeah. 730 gold already. He's waiting, though. Is this deciding whether he wants to buy a magic?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Maybe he wants to get like a null and a stick. Maybe if he feels, you know, having a little bit more damage. 800 gold on a Dead Prophet. He's goes with the bottle. Never mind.
And decide.
But he was thinking. He was definitely thinking.
It's one of those things, right? Like bottle, sure, it's going to regen you up, but having stats matters a hell of a lot. And having a wand against Storm, obviously, when he's spamming remnants, helps out your laning stage.
Oh, look at the micro. Both couriers.
Down bottom,
gonna be in the jungle. Kaka does have. Never mind. They're not gonna go for it. Abaddon level 1 is extremely painful to deal with because he comes in, absorbs the damage, and then AOE 100 damage. It's very annoying. But once you get like levels, once they get level 2 on these heroes, like they should be able to play around a Aphotic Shield. If they use it like one time, there's still like 2 other spells that they can use to lock either him or lock Phantom Assassin down. And this is going to be the problem. Like Brewmaster without mana, not really a hero that puts the pressure. Also pairing him up with Treant Protector, this is going to give Anti-Mage like that little bit of extra something where sometimes Anti-Mage do struggle to find their ring of health, and by having like either a living armor, all right.
Chalice. Yeah, down you go. And Kanka's going to fall as well, it looks like. This Orb of Venom over on Jackie, just slowing the Shadow
Good
Shaman
body
down to a crawl. Yeah, 240 move speed, and down he goes. A double kill for PA.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of full Orb of Corrosion. Like Jackie didn't even want to go for it, but since he got the double kill, that's gonna give him extra more pressure in this line. Now I'm a big fan. You know, if you're off to this good start, you should definitely go for it because it does give you that kill threat. And they do definitely need to enable Phantom Assassin in this game.
That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, back to your point about these supports in both of the side lanes. You know, this Treant, this Abaddon, they're both very good pressure relievers to get that damage and stuff away from their position 1 carries. And Skemp gonna go and die to a tower back at that tier 2 bottom so we can return with full resources and maybe even bring some items for the PA. And now things calm down a little bit in the side lanes. How's mid going? Even between the two of them?
Pretty much. A couple of less CS on Storm Spirit, but yeah, Dead Prophet did have that first blood, so gets the bottle a bit early on. Yopaj dropping low.
That should help.
There is a bounty rune to be picked up. Somnus, 1 Spirit Siphon left, has a Fairy Fire and a lot of Magic 1 charges, so he might try to go for a play, but also should be a bit more careful because like Storm Spirit can dish out serious amount of damage, but Yopaj needs to fall back. Ooh, barely lives.
Yeah, it's getting close. And also, kind of interesting with these 2 defensive supports in the Treant and the Abaddon. They're not the best at contesting runes. Yeah, they can just put their body there. But I think it's going to come down to Shadow Shaman and Rubik coming in from these position 4 roles to actually guard the runes and help Somnus and Yopaj, as we've seen time and time again. Like Fogg was saying, even 3.5 minutes in, you just see these 4 or 5 heroes rotate to try and get these bottle refills and the active runes.
Yeah, look at Scam and Kaka, both of them going for the rune, and also Tim's is coming.
He's gonna
6 people mid, 4 minutes in, let's go.
X-Nova's like, hello, what are you doing over here? Somnus and X-Nova should have that top one all locked up. But that means Kaka, he's going to force Skem down bottom to take it. So that means the Storm Spirit doesn't get the refill, which he so desperately would like. Kaka chased back by the Abaddon. Such a pest.
Yeah, it's like we're going to throw a couple of spells at each other, see what's going to happen, but no one wants to commit. Mars does have extra levels from that. I mean, both offlaners and both safe laners are getting levels, because every single support in this game was mid.
It's pretty important, these fast level 6s on Mars and Brew, that first ulti usage very often nets you a kill. A little more difficult, I guess, to kill off, PA and AM naturally blinking away from danger. We'll see if they can actually get it done. And Ghost currently doing very well for himself on the CS. Actually, all 3 cores of RNG outlast hitting their opponents as bottom Boom trying to make a move on Kaka. Scam and Jackie get on top of the Shadow Shaman. He's very fired, but he's going to die here. Even with the shackles going, they've got plenty of sustain and tons of damage with that Orb of Corrosion you mentioned.
Jackie had 10 magic stick charges before they went into this fight, so he feels very safe just jumping in aggressively. And after the fight is done, he still has another 6 stick charges, so he's going to be ready to go once again once Kaka comes back to the lane.
So many spells being spammed. Oh, Kaka actually TP's mid to refill bottle there for Somnus. So yet another small little advantage going the way of the DP mid. Piling on the pressure onto Yopaj, who is still level 5. And you see these sharks circling around the storm, and you just wonder, can he get a read on this? Does he understand the danger is coming? Because there's
He's
2
also
supports.
half HP.
Yeah. Like his 2 supports are coming, and they've just pinged out behind his tower saying, hey, danger is here. So I think they've got a pretty good understanding of what's coming around the corner.
This bottom lane, like this double kill for Jackie is what kind of gave him the opportunity to snowball into this game, and this is going to be another one. Skim will get the kill, but off to a really good start on Jackie. Players are reconnecting. Yopaj in trouble. Like if he shows, Shaman will just dive underneath the tower immediately.
Oh, for sure. You've got, what, 2 Spirit Siphons, you've got Exo, level 3 Crypt Swarm, plenty of damage to kill off the Storm. Like, even if Tims and Skem get there in time, I struggle to see a world in which the Storm survives. But, again, we could just see Yopaj hide behind his tier 1 and play defensively, as it looks like they have spotted X-Nova coming in, and a bit of packet loss, so we'll have the boys disconnect, reconnect, and try and get things sorted.
Radiant does have a glyph. Dire does not, so they can't keep the catapult alive. They will need to tank the tower. It's one of the better tools to just die with the creep wave. You pop the glyph, they're like, all right, something's happening. And Kaka's build is 1-1-1. I know Fog mentioned it. We also talked about it during our cast the other day. He's, I think, the only Shadow Shaman player that I've seen that does not prioritize Ether Lens. So he just gets Mana Boots, Blink, and then he gets a BKB. So no Shard, no Ether Lens, which is, I'd say, very uncommon. But in terms of trusting people, how they play Shaman, I think Kaka is really up there, so...
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're getting that BKB, after level 15, basically, you'll have the 2 Shackles talents, right? So it's just permanent disable on someone. Someone just can't move. But I guess this game, there is a way around it with the Abaddon Shield, right? So it's not going to be that guaranteed permanent lockdown with the Shackles.
Yeah, but it does give him, security in these mid-game fights, because the only damage he needs to care about, if he has a BKB, it's still a long way to think about it, but it's going to be Phantom Assassin only.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe they can throw the living armor on him for a second or 2 as well. So thinking about the way this first 5-6 minutes has gone, obviously the game's pretty even, but I have this feeling that Anti-Mage has been given a lot of room, and you were talking about the Brewmaster not having any mana, unable to put pressure on him. How does Boom kind of shut down that AM?
I mean, their control is very limited. They don't have this, instant lockdown. There is, Rubik Storm Spirit, but also having living armor behind him. I think they have very nice ways of protecting Anti-Mage, and he's off to a really good start. He's currently 30-7 on top of the CS.
Yeah, he's going to have his Battle Fury pretty quickly this game. Do we expect PA to try and match that farm speed with a Battle Fury of her own?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's gonna be delayed slightly because she did go for Orb of Corrosion. But if she gets like another kill, I think you're gonna get the value out of it, and it means you're still gonna have extra bit of slow, extra little bit of a minus armor. So yeah, I think that's completely fine. Usually, like, don't go for Orb of Corrosion PA because it delays your, especially if you're pushed out of the lane. Because I've seen like PAs, they try to go for it, they heavily commit, and then they can't play the lane. Like they die once, they're pushed out of the lane, and you're in jungle level 3, level 4 with Orb of Corrosion, and then you get like 19-minute Battle Fury. So you got to have a good read on the situation. I think Jackie has a very good one in this one. Still a bit of a packet loss for the players, so we are waiting until that is settled down.
Yeah, we'll be back in shortly. And I guess also with an Abaddon behind you, you'd think maybe he needs the Ring of Health here to sustain in lane, but when you've got this Mistcoil, the shield, and that sustain from Abaddon, you're not lacking in that department. Obviously, the Magic Stick has been working wonders for the PA in that bottom lane against Mars and Shadow Shaman, who are spamming out all of their spells consistently. But honestly, this pause has been kind of a blessing for Boom, right? They've spotted Kaka, they've spotted X-Nova. Yopaj has got himself away from the grasps of RNG, so he's not going to die, but he's still going to be stuck at like half HP here, pre-level 6. What's that? There's a null being delivered to him, no salve, so he might have to wander back home or try and dip into the jungle for a little bit. And that gives an opportunity with first Catapult Wave, first Exorcism, for some serious damage to be done to this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, I want to see how this is going to be played out because they do have advantage in terms of levels. You said, there is level 6 on Dead Prophet, and Storm Spirit's still level 5, so they might get a kill, might get a tower. Not sure if they can like fully commit and get a tower with Exo. There might be another TP rotation coming out from Boom, because Exo deals 50% less damage to towers now, which was kind of needed change, because
for sure.
that was a change in the previous patch that was not listed, so we had to revert it. Also, to point out, like, it's a good ABBA game. He's playing into Shadow Shaman, he's playing into Mars, so the Aphotic Shield is going to get a lot of value, but you're also playing into Dead Prophet. I think she's one of the better heroes overall against Abaddon, just to be able to silence him, and then he can't use his abilities, so that's going to be mostly your job, because they can't focus people down. And not just that, the other way to approach it is the Spear of ABBA from the people you're hexing and shackling.
Yeah, that's a good point. DP Silence is such a great value spell. 3 seconds at level 1 in that big AoE.
It's always been like one of the better counters to Abaddon. Either that, or I've seen like Skyrat Mage being extremely efficient as well. The instant silence, because Dead Prophet was instant silence before. Now it has a bit of a
projectile
that seems a little bit wonky, but gets the job done.
Or like the OD, right? Just Astral the Abaddon. Even if he ulties, just Astral him before he ulties, so he can't heal people. Get him out of the fight. All these little things definitely help out. Well, we're still missing FBZ. And as the admin was saying, a couple of minutes left for Boom in terms of reserve time. So we hope we can get them all back in to this game and crack on with it. Because we've been really expecting a great match here between RNG and Boom. In this game, one of the best of 3.
Yeah, these pauses can throw people a little bit off. By people, I don't mean spectators, I mean
players.
Players, yeah, because you lose a bit of track of time, what needs to be done, you lose the focus. Boom has 3 minutes of the pause time left. So hopefully they are able to reconnect and everything is good to go.
It's kind of interesting time because there's no level 6 on either of your offlaners, so it's not like Chalice or FBZ could come into this mid lane, pop their ulti and say, hey, we're going to make a team fight happen here. It's going to come down to the movement of these supports and the spell casting coming out of X-Nova, Kaka, maybe even Scam coming in to save someone and heal them. We could actually see, you were mentioning the flow of the game and people's kind of read of what's happening in the current state. We could just see everyone run away, right? That's also an opportunity just to disengage and say, okay, it's not worth our time to stick around here.
I think RNG will fully commit. I think they're gonna go all in with the EXO, and like even if they don't get the initiation on the Storm Spirit, in that case, they're still gonna go and try to deal some damage to the towers. Gotta stay hydrated, as we see Gary on camera. Drink some water, get some snacks, and hopefully we'll be right back.
We will indeed. I'm just... Yeah. Oh, 2 minutes of pause time left.
It's ticking down.
It's getting lower and lower. Oh, no.
I mean, Boom also in the DPC had a little bit of an unfortunate series. Because they played against Enigma C. This time around, I hope everything's going to be okay, so we can continue with this one, because this is a hype series. Last time they played, it was 2-1 for Boom, and yeah, it was just like these two teams are really on point in terms of like how they use the spells, how they approach team fights, the itemization, thinking outside of the box, as well as we've seen on Yopaj Lina when he needed extra armor, going for like Witchblade phase boots, a little bit of unorthodox build from Lina these days. But yeah, players extremely skilled, at just adapting to certain situations in the game. So yeah, always fun, always three to watch them.
Yeah, it was also nice to see RNG kind of bounce back, right? You know, dropping out of the Chinese finals against Extreme and coming to play against eHome. We were wondering if they'd be a bit rattled, a bit shaken by their loss. You know, they still looked pretty damn solid. Maybe a few problems in their drafting, but gameplay-wise, spellcasting, and I think most importantly, like you're saying, the spellcasting and mid-game teamfight decisions, understanding when we're strong, when we should posture, when we should just, you know, relinquish ground and give up a bit of positioning to take that bigger objective a little bit later on. It's like, okay, we'll let them take our jungle or triangle, but in 2 minutes, we're going to be there taking Roshan and destroying you. It's really the spectacle of the mid-game 25, 30-odd minute team fights that come out from these two squads, which does prove how strong they are. 1 minute of pause time left. Come on, boys. Woo. Come on. Oh, it's just FBZ, isn't it? We did have the other day in the Saudi or the MENA region, we had someone disconnect and like fully abandon, like unable to reconnect. Luckily, it was like before First Blood, before anything ever happened. So I'm just hoping, you know, crossing all my fingers and my toes that FBZ can actually click the reconnect button and get back into game. But I'm assuming he's like restarted his router and he's trying to look there. There's Xnova asking the same question. He's restarting his PC now.
Yeah, still having some packet loss, restarting PC. Hopefully, he can come back. Admin saying you do not have pause time anymore, and the game must be unpaused.
Maybe RNG will repause it. No,
yeah, because good sportsmanship.
Just give him a good 5 minutes here. Have a couple of minutes of our pause time. Yeah, we've seen pretty much everything we expected out of this game. You know, some good early game pressure. These two defensive supports keeping their carries farming away. A 30 CS on that anti-mage. He's ahead of the PA, but she's got a couple of kills to her name, so they're pretty much on even footing. PA just 70 gold in terms of net worth ahead of that anti-mage. But again, it's going to come down to post 15-20 minutes where the real action kicks off. I'm honestly the most important thing for me is when Chalice and FBZ hit level 6, how they use those first ultis. Now, do we see them TP into this mid lane to try and collapse onto Somnus? Do they try and push the AM or the PA out of the lane and into the jungle so they can get a bit of map control and pressure onto these safe lane tier 1s?
It's going to be a bit more difficult for Boom to just push out Anti-Mage out of the lane. Like, even if he goes to jungle, there's going to be a Treant Protector with the living armor protecting the tower. And they also don't have much tower damage, so that's another issue. Because, like, your Phantom Assassin early on doesn't deal much damage. Your mid laner also 0 damage to towers. Like, even your off laner, like Brewmaster and 2 supports as well. So that's one thing I'm really worried for Boom.
Yeah, because if we get into that situation where you're trying to trade towers, you've got Exo, you've got Serpent Wards, the ability just to shove buildings as RNG, yeah, you're right, so much stronger. So if you're on this, or in this map state where it's even footing and you're trying to get opposite objectives on the map, I think RNG, yeah, going to come out on top. every step. And it's not as though we're going to see too much like jungle stacking, right? There's no Medusa, there's no Gyro or hero that can immediately clear stacks. We need the Battle Furies to come out of the position ones early. I guess Storm and DP can to some extent, but not really big stacks of Ancients. That's something we have seen a lot from these two teams, is building up those big bank accounts in the triangle and making sure you defend them. I think this game is going to be much more about playing forward and playing active into your opponent's side of the map.
Yeah, there aren't many stacks being made. I see one big camp stack only for Boom, because they also don't have the heroes that can clear the stacks easily, at least early on.
Now we've lost Jackie. I didn't even notice.
Jack has also been connecting and disconnecting. But seems like FBZ is the one having still the packet lost, unable to reconnect.
Oh, look at that. Ghost is tipping Yopaj. Is that a sign of things to come? He's like, I've got my eyes on you. I'm an AM, you're a Storm. I'm gunning it. I'm gunning for you all the way. Yeah, I think we've got a bit of time here, I think, before the players get back in. So we'll take a quick break and return once we have Boom back in the lobby. We'll see you in a little bit.
I'll choose Snapfire for core because as a support there's so much limitation that you can do compared to as a core player or mid or off lane, because you can get a lot more goals and items that can actually transition to team items or just personally damage build that can play your own tempo, right?
I'd say mid with Daedalus and level 20 talent. Just kill everybody in one fire, whatever that spell is called.
Core.
Midas, I think.
Midas.
Midas. Because it lets you skill more. It makes like your ult more.
Okay, we're back into it. FBZ still unfortunately out of things, but RNG in that mid lane to get the Exorcism out onto this tier 1 tower. Yopaj has hit level 6, and they've glyphed up the tier 1, but there's a catapult behind Somnus, and Kaka has got a Hex Shackles towards Skem. The damage flowing from Somnus. It's destroyed the Abaddon. And it looks like this is going to be a tier 1. They can keep the catapult alive. There's another creep wave coming in about 5 seconds, and this is going to be a 7-minute tier 1 for RNG unless Boom do something drastic and make a play.
Oh, I don't know. They can, Gary. More or less hit. Yopaj will get it, but Kaka is coming from behind. They already used the telekinesis, so that's gonna be... Ooh.
Oh, he's got enough mana to zip away.
Yeah, it was 1-1-1 build on Shadow Shaman, so not enough lockdown at that point. Manages to zip out, gets the deny on tower, gets some extra gold for his teammates. Unfortunately, FBZ, someone needs to micro him.
Yeah. I wonder who it is, honestly.
And this is... Unfortunately, this is not an easy hero to micro. Let's say this is
one
like
of the worst.
If it was like Tidehunter, sure, but this is Brewmaster.
Oh, man. I mean, like, who could it be? Like, Rubik needs to be focused on his own spell casting, right?
Maybe Abba.
Yeah?
It's a difficult one.
Well, Tim's is taking that top lane. Oh, FBZ's back. We didn't lose him for long, just a minute or so. And he'll come back in, return to the lane, and get close to that level 6, which he needs. Because Chalice has already cracked 6. He's got ulti ready to go. That's why we see Jackie in that bottom lane, just playing a little more defensively, afraid of who's going to TP down to come and kill him. But losing a tier 1 mid that early on has got to be painful for Boom. That widens the map, allows more points of access into the 2 side jungles for RNG.
I mean, yeah, that mid tower, this is the most important tower in the game. And they, like we talked about how Boom does not have enough tower damage, and RNG has Treant Protector as well on top of that, just to be able to hold the towers for longer. So map is gonna become smaller for Boom, because as you said, RNG will have the entrance to their jungle.
And that's maybe where the PA is going to want to be. Still seeing her very defensively positioned behind her bottom tier 1, knowing that Somnus and Kaka have come down here. They saw Kaka walk down here. They don't know Somnus is here until now. He shows on the tower. Exo off cooldown and has an arcane rune going. It's just perfection for Somnus so far this game. A little bit of luck, of course, but here comes some TPs to react to RNG's move. Yopaj, level 7. He wants to get in there, and they've got Brew 6 as well, but Chal is ready with a Arena Spear. Yopaj ahead of him, though, already balled away, and FBZ is going to move forward, shackled up, still has the split, as Somnus drains the life out of the Storm and the Abaddon, but FBZ's got different plans. Cyclones the Mars, moves back towards the DP, but she's so tanky. Living armor on her. 2 nulls and strength treads. You can't shred through the Death Prophet. Focus on Kaka now instead, but FBZ can't do it alone. Storm's out of resources until he's regen up a little bit now. He's back in again, but the AM's here. A double kill for Ghost with a Mana Void. Down goes Jackie on that PA. A triple into an Ultra potentially for Ghost. The perfect game for RNG. 7-4. They come down bottom. They'll claim a tower as well.
They brought everybody on side of RNG. Boom, Rubik was not there. But yeah, Somnus too tanky. As you said, he had the perfect rune, Arcane Rune, got the multiple Spirit Siphons off. And with his build, having that Power Treads, just to have an extra HP coming up from the Fairy Trinket. Not much, but the old things do tend to add up. And also having Living Armor on top of him, like against the Brawlings, that's going to be super effective.
Incredibly so.
Also, Anti-Mage, he got a triple kill. And who got the tower kill?
Dyer did, I think. Yeah, just Dyer.
Dyer, okay.
Good job, Dyer.
Great job, everyone, on side of Dyer. Anti-Mage will have like 12-minute Power Treads Battle Fury.
It's insane. I mean, where's the PA in comparison to that? And she's now 1,000 net worth behind, and you know, like you've been saying, this Orb of Corrosion, the Magic Wand, all these little items, they add up in terms of cost. So Battle Fury delayed by several minutes behind the AM's one.
Like once you get a good Battle Fury timing and you take one good fight, potentially kill Phantom Assassin, that means you're gonna be 1 item ahead of her. Shaman has Book, is still not using it.
I love it when players do this, because then we start thinking, like, why is he doing it? Is he doing it on purpose because he doesn't want to die and give away more resources to the enemy team?
Pretty much, yeah. If he finds the opportunity, he will go for it. Also, sometimes when the heroes are not showing, you check the scoreboard, you see they're level 5, and when the fight is about to break, he pops the book and gets level 6 in the middle of it. And
surprise!
Like, oh, okay, surprise! Suddenly he is level 6.
That's always a good point. Well, FBZ now jungling in the most dangerous part of the map, down bottom. They see X-Nova and Chalice. 12-minute runes, a regen. Somnus going to have that guarded for him. Plonk it in the bottle. I've also got Blink Dagger on Mars. Phase Bracer Wand Blink at 12 minutes. It's just everybody on RNG hitting their timings.
Yeah, I think he decided to go for earlier Blink Dagger before the Soul Ring, because they did manage to kill like 2 towers, and he found the opportunity and understands that like he can be the one initiating, because like they want to give a little bit more extra time to Anti-Mage, and they want to keep fighting with the rest of the team, and he will still go back for the Soul Ring just to have that extra mana. Also extra tankiness, just investing in these like small items on Mars always feel good. Yopaj, triple null, Fairy's Trinket, going into BKB straight after. I can't blame him, playing into like Mars, Anti-Mage, Shaman, like there's just way too many lockdown on side of RNG, so BKB kind of is natural choice for him.
Yeah, he's got to. A nice little pick off on Skem there. Well executed by RNG, making sure they did very little damage into his ultimate, so it was quite simple to take him down and even give the kill to Somnus, who pretty much has a Yule's done now on top of all these smaller stat items. Yeah, with this Treant Protector, I'm just looking at these tier 1s. Top tier 1, basically full HP. Mid tower being healed up by X-Nova. He can keep the waves out with the Nature's Grasp as well.
There's just not enough damage to kill the tower. Like, they need to take a full 5-on-5 engagement, kill them, and then go for the tower. Otherwise, I just don't see it falling down. Playing behind Jackie, still needs a lot of time to farm the Battle Fury. In the next like 2 minutes, if they manage to kill him once, like Anti-Mage is just gonna pop off completely. And it's always gonna feel difficult for Yopaj to join the fights playing into Anti-Mage. It's just something that Storm Spirit, like they don't like to do.
Yeah, and you got to feel pretty happy as RNG about this. You've just farmed 2 lanes, jungle, you're now smoking up towards top, and the tier 1 hasn't even died yet. Xnova's there with level 3 living armor, and this smoke from Chalice and Somnus gets the catch on Skem. Abaddon gets his ulti out. Skem pretty low, but Somnus with a 2-man silence onto the Storm Spirit immediately. Kaka, Serpent Ward's back on the other side, and they've got a Hex on him, but Yopaj balled away. Kaka nearly dead, but inside this arena, RNG are gods. Jackie's down, and Skem in trouble. The Storm will zip back in to at least kill off Kaka, but FBZ's ultimate is about to be shredded. All the Brewlings destroyed by the Ghosts, 3 heroes in exchange for 1, and RNG victors yet again in front of an enemy tower.
This is why Chalice Mars is such a treat to watch. He finds pretty much the perfect target, gets the spear and the rebuke on Abaddon, pops the ulti on him, body blocks him, gets in front of him, and then they decide to take the fight because they know, like, if Abba gets close, he's still gonna die. Kaka also living there. He didn't live, he actually died, never mind, but he lived for long enough because he trapped himself with the wards and also Arena, keeping him alive. Somnus also clutch silence just to be able to prolong a team fight for a little bit longer. And look at Kaka, pops the magic stick and inside sitting, and they're like, well, maybe we can go. I think Yopaj decided to finish him off. It was actually Skem, but yeah, also these Brewlings, they die. Like,
Disappeared.
There's a lot of like overtime damage because like ghosts are gonna kill you. There is Shaman Ward sitting in Nature's Grasp from the Treant Protector. It's not an easy Brewmaster game by any means. And while all that was happening, Anti-Mage was split pushing bottom. He dealt some damage to tier 2 tower. By some damage, I mean he almost killed it because the tower is sitting at 300 HP, now has a double damage. He's gonna have a Mantis style pretty soon, compared to Phantom Assassin, who still needs to farm another component, needs another 1000 gold to finish off the Battle Fury.
Well, Boom needs moves like this. They spot Chalice at that top rune. He gets an Arena Spear off. The silence from the DP. Kaka's here with the shackles and the disables as Somnus takes down Tims. They do get 1 kill, but it's not looking good for Boom. Xnova's there with the overgrowth, and FBZ healed up by Skem. He can't get away from this, though. The hexes, the shackles, the silences, RNG just insurmountable control against Boom in this game.
Somnus is going ham on the Dead Prophet. Like, they really set him off for a really good game, gave him the first blood, he dominated the lane, killed the tier 1 tower mid, picks up the Arcane Rune, comes back to bottom, they kill the tower, they win the fight off with that Arcane Rune, and now Anti-Mage, killing the tier 2 tower, so some extra gold in the pockets for the whole team, and also taking the outpost. So every single time, like, they want to play the bottom lane, they have something to TP to.
That's not really where Radiant want to be either, right? They want to be up in that top part of the map. Tier 1 still standing there at 200 HP. Let's see how healed that can be by Xnova. But we've got to start thinking about that Roshan as the potential for RNG if they do win another team fight, seeing as they've taken all these towers. And that's, yeah, Boom signaling top part. That's where they want to play, up in towards their own vision, into the natural pocket of space. And it looked like RNG were signaling down bottom where the AM is going to live and make his base camp down there. It's not like Anti-Mage is a hero that really Boom can go on at this point.
Oh, no.
It feels like it's very tanky.
They need Phantom Assassin to be, like, extremely farmed. She needs, like, 2 more items plus a shard, I'd say, to be able to deal with the Anti-Mage. Like, break mechanic's going to be extremely good. But it's a long way, Gary. We still need to, you know, finish off first couple of items, especially on the Storm Spirit. He's in the middle of the pack, sitting at 6,000 net worth. Needs to find some farm to get his BKB. Then the initiation is going to be easier. Because if you think about Abba plus Storm, Abba can't just go inside of the fight and follow the Storm. It's very difficult for him.
Oh, a nice little play there. Ancients all set up for Jackie, so they've got all of these beautiful tier 2 items coming to them now. That gives a lot of money to the PA towards that BKB, which he obviously needs quickly. Radiant scan. They know Treant was nearby. And the tower top, yeah, it's gone from 200 HP to about 800 now. Even more work for them to do, but Yopaj, he's got his eyes set on the Treant, but he doesn't want to go too deep. focus on the buildings instead. But you look at the other side of the map, Lacoste. Ghost is pushing high ground. He's
And
on
they
tier
don't have a
3
Treant
bottom.
Protector, so that's gonna be, you know, it's not a lot of damage, but it does put the pressure on it. Tier 1 tower is finally gonna drop on the top lane.
Oh,
Who's
finally.
gonna get the last hit? Yopaj, so pretty much the perfect one just to be able to get that BKB for the next fight. FBZ does have a Spirit Vessel, so there's gonna be some healing reduction for both Spirit Siphon and Living Armor. And going into Eon Disconnects once he disassembles his Mana Boots.
Nice. Yeah, because that AM kind of just poking a little bit, you're right. It's not that much damage, but it's kind of emotional damage saying, hey, next time there might be a DP here. Next time there might be Serpent Wards here. Next time your Rax might not be here.
Exactly. And now BKB on Dead Prophet. I think RNG should try to go and take the fight. Turn that into potentially Roche. Right now, Boom, they are playing around the Roche pit, so RNG will need to get the smoke, but I feel very safe for Anti-Mage to be able to just do what he was doing in the last couple of minutes. Split push the wave, no one shows, so you know where they are.
Kaka starts things off on the Brew. Chalice and X-Nova are both here. Does FBZ want to ulti to try and get away from this? He's not looking like it. Oh, he pops it. He turns to fight it. X-Nova jumped on by Jackie. Big damage, and Skem clears up the Treant. They've cycloned the Mars, and they're moving on to Kaka now. The arena from Chalice focusing the PA. No BKB for her, but a shield will help her out greatly, as they've also cycloned that double damage DP. Chalice still battling with FBZ. The Brewmaster shielded, turns into a piggy and runs away as Yopaj jumps in. Finds Chalice with Jackie Boy jumping back with the Phantom Strike, and now the DP. The next focus for them. Somnus has his BKB though, and this Ghost AM arrives on the scene of the crime as they'll clear up one, but not the other. Phantom Assassin, thankfully for her, TP's home, and honestly not a bad fight for Boom.
Because Anti-Mage was not there. Tier 3 tower almost died. Anti-Mage was
did it?
pushing, yeah, and he was pinging it. He's like, I'm split pushing, I'll join the fight. There is still a tier 2 tower. But yeah, they did get a couple of kills, and they did get some gold on Jackie. He desperately needs this BKB. And we also see the power of like these two saving supports on both sides. But Scam has been doing one hell of a job considering like the situation they're in. Even with the EXO being down, with Shaman Wards, they're gonna go inside the pit and get that Aegis.
And it feels like the one player we've not really talked about too much is Tim's on this Rubik. Is that just an indication of the hero not being in a great place this game? Or is it the state of the game that has made it difficult for him? Or are we just expecting later on he'll have more opportunities to steal big spells?
It's not an easy game for him. Playing into like Anti-Mage, Dead Prophet, Mars, sometimes heroes like Rubik do struggle finding an opening, but he did steal the spear finally. Good Yule Scepter there. Yeah,
they kill Tim's immediately. Somnus still incredibly tanky. 21 charges in the pocket as well, and Ghost might make a move onto Yopaj here. Mana Void at the ready. He's ready to pull the trigger, but he'll get onto FBZ instead. Immediate bash from the Ghost Anti-Mage. Manta style out, and the shackles from Kaka pop the Eon Disc. FBZ getting healed and shielded, though the overgrowth from X-Nova will slow them down. The retreat not available for Boom, as they're being dived by their tier 3s.
Yeah, the power of silence, like already said it once, it's one of the best tools against Ebba. If he lands that silence on Ebba, they can focus other heroes, and silence is maxed out, so it's a 6-second silence right now. 50% downtime. Anti-Mage holding the Aegis. Like, I don't think Ghost should die this game until like Phantom Assassin gets, as I said, like 3 items plus a shard.
We'll see though. Boom, so good at executing these team fights. Even in that top fight, the way they danced in and out, jumping with the ball lightning, phantom striking back and forth. It really is this kind of ballet-esque movement from Boom, really beautifully synchronized. I just think a couple more opportunities like that.
Adaptation that Yopaj is trying to make this game. Like, this is the second item Aghanim Scepter queued up. It's great against Anti-Mage because it can get counterspelled, and yeah, just have like a little bit more like team fight potential, and potentially just like Fade Bolt into like Battle Fury from Phantom Assassin. They're dancing around.
Oh, the second time in a row he's done that. Yopaj is doing like a 100 range ball, and Ghost is like, I'm not falling for any baits. I'm gonna press my counter spell every time you ball towards me. Respect from both players. Wonderful to see. Ghost going to blink down bottom. As you've been saying, that tier 3 tower so close to death already. And this time around...
So
oh, yeah.
It's just dead. I mean, they can't fight this. It's level 3 EXO plus Shaman wards.
They're bringing heroes down, but they've already jumped FBZ. Eondas Harry is going to be allowed to ulti. No, maybe not. With the shackles and the hex, he gets it off. Yopaj also. Ball lightning in to finish off Kaka. Good pick off to start things off, but Yopaj has to ball back towards Fountain, or else Ghost will take him down. So 1 kill for Boom, but your racks are falling. And Ghost is just moving in, trying to focus down the Brewlings, shackled up by the Rubik. PA BKB's here. Trying to get back in towards them, but Chalice with his Arena Spear turns back around on the Storm. Yopaj destroyed by Ghost. Good silence coming out from the Rubik will slow the advance of RNG. But at this point, I don't see what Boom can do.
Oh, what a beautiful fight from RNG. Like, they used this opportunity because Anti-Mage was pushing the mid lane. He connects with the rest of the team. They go with the EXO and Shaman wards. Like, Shackles and Hex used almost to perfection by Kaka to be able to lock down Brewmaster, even with the status resistance from the Eon disc. He gets it off, gets the split off, and yeah, they get a return kill, but they lost the bottom barracks, and still Aegis up and running on Anti-Mage for another minute and 20 seconds, plus a double damage in a bottle, so they will take another fight.
I think Abyssal Blade's coming as well for him. Yeah, Vanguard plus the recipe on Courier. So Ghost will have that additional piece of disable against these BKBs from PA and Storm. And now all these lines drawn on the map. Drastic moves needed by Boom. You can see Storm and Rubik going to try and wander out, connect with the PA, maybe find some solitary targets on the map. But RNG are just playing so tight together. Chalice, the only one separated from the rest of the squad, but he can always TP to mid-tier 1. Like the dire mid-tier 1 is still there, 26 minutes in, basically full HP. And actually, RNG are going to connect in towards him, which leaves Kaka out in the open, not spotted though. Radiant Courier seen by X-Nova, and now they know there's heroes up here. Yopaj, Jackie, Tims, Hex onto the Rubik, and now the Arena Spear. They've blown up Kaka. No, not quite. The Essence Ring of the turn, the Hex and the Shackles, the stun, and Yopaj has the BKB and ball lightning away. He can barely kill off Kaka here. He's trying his hardest, but somehow he's still alive. Now the Spear in onto Jackie. Down you go, and a TP home from Yopaj. No, just about successful in the trees.
I mean, they're taking such a good care of each other with the living armor, with the arena. Like, he pops the essence ring, which does allow him to use the ulti and gets his spells off multiple times. So, yeah, just a good way of fighting. Phantom Assassin did finish off her shard, so that's going to be the break mechanic, extra AoE damage. And going into Deso next. Yeah, she invested into shard. I can't blame her because it's like cheap damage, and they definitely need any kind of damage that they can get right now.
Especially against that AM. Like, you got to try and shred through him one way or the other. Offering so much damage from all of their cores on RNG. And when Anti-Mage is 20,000 net worth, 27 minutes in, the bad times are coming for Boom. Still able to hold their base for now, though. We might see RNG wait another couple of minutes for that next Roshan to really secure this game and get it in the bag.
Man, Chalice, love his itemization this game. He went for a Blink Dagger, back to Soul Ring just to have extra mana and like the little stats that we talk about. And also now going into Refresher. Because Arena level 3 is 200 mana, so you just have enough. You pop one Soul Ring, you have for Refresher and 2 ultis.
And this AM right now just cutting waves, pushing every lane in towards the Radiant base. Tims drops the game is hard, and I absolutely agree with him. That is a difficult one for them. They can't really handle this Ghost Anti-Mage when he's all over the map causing havoc. And it's again going to come down to some supreme teamfight execution. We know the Boom can pull it out. Now smoke like this, it could pay off dividends for them. X-Nova going to show. Breaks the smoke, a good ball in. Overgrowth being held still. Gets it in onto Storm as he's BKB'd, but bashed and stunned. The Abyssal Blade still to come. Ghost gonna find Yopaj. Storm dead, but with buyback. Might come back in as the Arena from Chalice finding another beautiful fight here around Kaka and Somnus. They've cycloned the AM, but Scam is dead. FBZ's little earth bruling. He's waddling away, slowly dying, and Somnus beyond godlike. 10-0-6 on his Death Prophet. Perfect games from him and Ghost so far.
Yeah, just X-Noah as well. Waiting for Storm Spirit gets the blink out. If he gets caught, that'd be pretty big, because he did have a buyback. Never mind. He would definitely buy back, but it was a potentially good opener for Boom to initiate on a Treant Protector. He holds that Overgrowth for a long time. Storm uses BKB, he counters it immediately, and then Anti-Mage comes. They control the Abba in the backline, so he can't get close. So just a great understanding on everyone on side of RNG what needs to be done in a fight.
And another set of racks, and an almost instant Roshan respawn. 10 seconds. I don't know, is that good for RNG or is it bad for RNG? Because it feels like they're winning this game no matter what. If Boom can contest the Roshan, though, maybe they can steal it. Maybe they can get Aegis on Storm.
70 seconds until EXO. I mean, Boom doesn't know that Roshan, none of the teams know that there's going to be another initiation on him.
Yeah. They didn't know they were holding this high ground, and Yopaj is just being chain disabled by Ghost with his Bastion and Abyssal Blade. They try and catch Kaka, but they can't kill Kaka. He is surviving. Dies to Tim's at the very end, but another spear inside this arena will find FBZ. And Ghost is diving behind tier 3s, forcing the Phantom Assassin back to Fountain. The Fountain Assassin hiding away as RNG take apart their entire base.
Did you just say Fountain Assassin, Gary?
I did, Lacoste.
Yeah, there's not much they can do. Abba using the buyback, and let's see if RNG decides to take this one slowly, get the second Roche, get the shard. There's also double damage that they can give bottle to Anti-Mage, so Ghost can't pick it up. Shiva's guard on top of that, just to have extra armor and also find the heroes in the backlines. It's being pinged out right now, straight into the pit.
With a DD rune, let's go. Good determination from Boom, though, not giving up, holding out for that big team fight. They know that they can maybe get a kill here or there. But against this secondary Roche with Aegis, with Shard, things get ever so much more difficult. And now, we do have the Shard on Kaka. There's still one on the floor there. It looks like Chalice is going to be handed the goodies from Roche.
Kaka did buy the shard for himself. This is the first time I see it, because usually he does go for a BKB. Maybe he felt like, we just need a bit more damage on the ground, deal with the Brewlings, have the extra cast range, and so far it's been working out. He did die 7 times, but many times Treant Protector did save him.
Oh, Ghost using the remainder of that DD. Pummel the building's top, and DP's ulti is out. Boom. With one last chance, it feels like. Buyback-wise, not looking too good as they ball in, but Chalice with that arena finds Tim's off the bat. The refresher and the spear as well as Jackie's down. No buyback for the PA, and Boom just being destroyed by RNG inside his Radiant base. Storm zips back in, a Cyclone Ghost, and he's going to jump forward and finish off the Abaddon. 2 buybacks from Boom, another ball lightning in onto Kaka, but Somnus has an ultra kill, and they're closing this one out now. Ghost is on to Yopaj, diving Fountain, a rampage for Somnus, and Ghost is going to die to Fountain, but he's got Aegis, gets the Storm kill that he wanted, and GG is called.
Yeah, beautiful game from RNG. Like, 2 cores did not die a single time. Like, they did enable the Anti-Mage, and they also did enable Somnus, giving him the first blood, and also playing around him on a mid lane, refilling his bottle. I think twice Kaka died and comes back to mid lane just to refill the bottle. They take the tower while Storm Spirit was level 5 still. A little bit of unfortunate that FBZ missed like a minute and 30 seconds of the game being disconnected. It can hurt you a lot on the off lane, especially with the Brewmaster that is like tempo oriented hero, but yeah, they just couldn't push the towers. That was one big issue that I've seen, especially against the Treant Protector. Like, none of their heroes actually did any kind of tower damage.
Yeah, it was difficult for them to find any opportunity to go and do that, especially when you're against EXO and Shadow Shaman and stuff like that. And obviously, first blood for Somnus, giving him that early bottle helped out a lot. But that's just game 1. It's a best of 3, so we'll have a quick break, return with the panel and the rest of the series.